Jenneke Hersbach asked me to draw a beagle, so that is what we're going to do today. Now the Draw Stuff real easy way is to sketch the drawing lightly in pencil first, then draw in ink, and finally erase the pencil lines and finish off the details. You will need a pencil, a pen and an eraser, but let's not talk about it. Let's do it. So if this is the middle of the page, I'm going to go up a little bit and across, and I'm going to start around about here, and I'm going to draw a kind of a square with round corners, isn't it? And then we want to draw the ears coming off the side, so they just drop down a little bit there, and they're going to go down at an angle, and then they're going to kind of curl around in front of this square, so they're going to come around like that and then curl up. So you can do it the other way around like that, and that's going to go kind of up like that. And you want a kind of quite a sort of a sharpish sort of point here where the ears meet. Now if we draw a line across the middle here, and I just want to say, look, I'm drawing this very, very lightly. I'm not pressing hard. If you press hard, it's going to be really difficult to erase these lines later. So here I'm going to draw a circle for the eye and another one there, maybe a bit closer in, and we want to have a kind of a line coming down like that. They've got a kind of a soulful look about them. This one will come a little bit more in, and then that's sort of coming around like that there. And then in this sort of section here, it's not quite the middle, so I suppose, right, kind of if you draw it in the middle there, we want to come just above, and that's going to be the nose. And we're going to draw that really simply. We want a little line coming down, and then a kind of a curve, and then that will come down, and then that will want to go up at a bit of an angle, and we got the chin underneath, and then this is going to sort of come up there inside the ear, in between that little space there. Good. And then we're going to want to have kind of the neck coming down, and we can have a collar there with a little name tag. I'm thinking this might come out a little bit more there, actually, now I'm looking at it. And then we want, the back is coming around about here, so it's a slight bit of shoulder there. And then we want to come back, and then that will go down a little bit, and then up into the tail, which is going to be just sticking out there proudly like that. Now we come to the dog leg. This is always a tricky bit when drawing dogs. So here, follow this line around, and we're going to draw an S. Okay, so it's an S shape, and then we're going to go straight down and then forwards into the paws there like that, which are then going to come up, and then we want this other S kind of shape, which is more leaning over than that one. Then that can kind of curve around a little bit there as well. And then we're going to want the body will then be coming kind of up and around like that, so that we can now draw a front leg in about there, and then this wants to taper a little bit, narrow a little bit there, and then we want this to be on the same level at the bottom. I'm going to have to move this up a bit soon. And then that will come forward, and then 1, 2, kind of like that, and we're going to see the other leg there like that. And we want to see, actually that's looking a little bit chunky, is it? I don't know, maybe not. And we want to have the kind of shoulder in there as well, and then we're going to want to see a similar kind of thing there, just not quite, just up a little bit higher, 1 and 2, going up there, and then that will be going, oh no, that'll just sort of go up in there like that. There we go, I've readjusted that. You can see this video without adverts, learn how to paint it in watercolour, and get helpful drawing hints too when you join me on Patreon. Click the link above. All we want to do is to come up a little bit and then down and down like that. So it's kind of an M, shallow M shape. Down a little bit here, up, and then around a nice curve, and then just flick it up there. Come down here, nice curve into there, flick it up there. And then we can draw the nose. And I'm going to do this really simply. I'm just going to do that as an oval with a little white blob left inside it, and a line coming down, and then we can do that down there, and that's coming up there like that. And then we want the chin underneath. So draw in these circles for the eyes, and I'm just going to draw in the little pupils inside as well. And they have very dark kind of eyelidy bits around their eyes. That's coming down around like that, and then let's have that coming there, kind of like that. So they're very dark around the eyes, and then we want that coming down here to the we can maybe do a crinkly line there for the collar, because you've got a bit of fur sticking over the top. And I'm going to draw these little lines here to give a bit of kind of shading feel to that. That's the bit of the collar on the front, and then that's going to be a name tag. A bit of shoulder, and then across and down a little bit and into the tail. And here we could maybe have a little few zigzag lines there. We're going to come down into the back leg, and that's going to be forward, forward, forward like that, up and flick. It depends on the pen you've got. You can draw with anything. In some pens you'll get a nice little kind of flick there, and it gets, you can see it narrows to a point. And here again we can go flick up to there, and we come down, and we can come forward into this 1, 2, and then that's a shallow one there, which will then come up to there. And here again I can do that coming back to there, and we're going to do that leg coming down there. Then we just need to finish this one here. Just go 1, 2, and a shallow one there coming up and around into there. When you are absolutely sure that the ink is dry, then you can erase all the pencil lines, and no one will ever know how you planned it out and drew it so neatly. And I'm going to add a little bit of, it's kind of a line and little bits going up, so this will be a kind of grass in the background, a horizon line, which helps to put it kind of not on the table, on the ground. And I think we're going to want some shadow in here, so I'm just going to do some little bits like this, just to kind of help it kind of sit on the ground, and maybe some extra bits of grass like that. And I don't think we need a lot going on here. Like I say, if you join me on Patreon, I'm going to show you how to paint this, and in this kind of style. If you've already done shading in the pen and ink, it kind of makes it a lot easier to paint over, because you've already done the shading. The legs at the back need a bit of shading, and that kind of sends them further back, and so we can do that there as well. And take your time over this. We might have a little bit of shading under here as well, like that, and maybe a little hint of kind of fur, and I think we could maybe have a little bit of shading in there as well, and maybe a little bit in there. We could give it a little bit more expression with some eyebrows and maybe a little line down the middle, and just going to add a little bit more into there and into there, I think, and maybe just underneath. And then we need a colour scheme. So basically we got a kind of browny tan on the head and various splodgy bits. And then we also need a kind of a black on top of that, more splodgy bits, and maybe a bit of green for the grass. And there you go, how to draw a beagle. Click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will be told every Thursday 4 o'clock when there's a new video going up. In the meantime, keep drawing, 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 practice, 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 and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.